The instamatic focal point bringing damage to your burrow. We some brothers from the east with the beats that be thorough. Got the solar gravitation, so I'm bound to pull it. I gets down like brothers are found.
I'm as real as they come, they feel it get numb. You think you got a little buzz, so now you can't get stung. I keep a razor blade tucked on me under my tongue. Don't let me have to tell these niggas about the city I'm from.
What's up, guys? Hey, I just want to remind you guys that as you've seen in those clips, some of those were taken from Instagram, some of those were taken from TikTok. Yeah, if you want to get like behind the scenes, like if you want to get like stories, more regularly uploaded content, check out my Instagram, check out my TikTok, because I can't post stories or like pictures and stuff on here. I think you have to have 1K subs in order to do that, and I really want to be able to do that, just to you know, share more stuff with you guys. So yeah, so let's try and, you know what, let's try and get me to 1K. Imagine that. Okay, so if you're new here, become part of the family. What are you waiting for? Subscribe. Let's get this going. You know, I don't usually ask for subscribers, so it's definitely a new thing for me to ask for subscribers. I don't really like watching YouTube's videos and you've got someone asking. So you know what, I take that back. If you like this genuinely, then sub to me. If you guys like what I'm doing, I'm gonna get to 1K anyway. That's how I see it. So with that said, I wanna just talk to you guys today about my process, and what are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about during my process. Maybe a little bit of workflow, and we'll just try and make a beat and see what comes of it. Let's get straight into it. I'm gonna set the tempo at 85 and change it later if I need to. So what I usually do is I usually put the sample into Serato sample, because I just love Serato sample. If you guys have been watching, you'll know that I love Serato sample. So yeah, I usually start with that and see if I can just chop the sample up with my keys right here. Because these are broken, I just use the keys to like play the samples. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes, I'm loving that sample. It's nice and simple. It's like vintage. It's gonna give me like a super. I'm not too sure at this point early on who would be on the beat. What kind of a rapper would be on the beat? Yeah, this one seems like pretty straightforward. Like it's got some nice. It's just got some nice loops in there. It's not something that I'll be really playing on the keys with the samples. So I'll probably just like click it in or cut it up on the timeline. Heaps of different ways to do one thing in FL Studio. That's why I like using it. But yeah, anyway, let's get straight into that. And then I'll pretty much just go through all the sample and just see what other cuts I can get. I usually just start off by making a 4-bar loop like I've got here, and then as I go on, expanding and just seeing where it goes, and then later on that leads to structure and everything else. But when I've got the beat at this point, like I've got a loop going, sort of like the sample is acting as a canvas at this point, I like to bring in packs that I have, like drum kits and sample kits, and just to give it more flavor, give it more depth, and to sort of give it more elements to listen to. So I'm gonna search for some of those. An easy way for me to match up the keys of samples is just to quickly pull it into Serato, just by simply just dragging it across like this. And that's actually quite good because the original sample is already in G minor, so I don't need to shift it. If I did need to shift it, I could just put it in its correct scale using this here, and then adjust the sample down here accordingly in here. If you don't know which scale it's in to match it up with, what I usually do is I just take the original sample, so this one's in G minor, and I just Google search all notes found in G minor. Yeah, just match them up that way. If you don't have Serato sample, you can use Keyfinder. It does the same thing, but it's just like, in terms of workflow, it's just a bit slower. I just like the simplicity and workflow efficiency of just dragging it into Serato within the FL Studio. Okay, so my camera turned off because it can only record 20 minutes at a time apparently. Anyway, I've chopped up the drum loop even further because I wasn't quite happy with the way it was sounding. This is the original here. And literally just gone and used the slicer and gone and sliced up things, and then arranged them into this order. And I also pitched all of the samples down 400 cents. In terms of EQing, I just EQ, for the most part, I just EQ as I go along. I don't EQ the whole thing at once until the very end, but I just do I just EQ what I need to and mix what I need to as it's needed during the beat making process. And then, yeah, as I say, at the very end, that's when I'll do the final mix. Okay, cool. So I've added those few things, and now it's time to stack my drums on top of it. All the drums I'm using can be found in my Deep Crates Volume 1. It's my own drum kit that I've released recently. You can go cop that at njhbeats.com. Let's get into it. Okay, fam, that's it. That's pretty much done. I added like one more sound that you'll hear when I play it through, but I also added an acapella from Big L. I don't know if the beat really suits it, but it gives it that extra character. So when you hear it, tell me who you hear on this beat, because I couldn't really place it. So yeah, that's us. Let me know in the comments what you think, and yeah, until next time, peace.
Hey yo, you better flee hops or get your head flown 3 blocks. L key rappers hearts pumping like V